Now more than ever, I think it's safe to say that we need to rise up as leaders in this world. I can't express enough how imperative it is that you really take the time to figure out the right ways to walk the walk, not just talk the talk. And today I want to share with you 7 characteristics that are going to support you in leveling up as a leader in this world. It's not only going to help you in your business, it's also going to help you in life, in every single area of your life. This is one of the biggest reasons why I focus on biblical leadership and learning to lead like Jesus. Whether you're a believer, you're religious or not, there is a book of life that shows us the right way to walk on this earth and how we should be treating each other and how we should be operating in our businesses with integrity and humility and honesty and being authentic. And there's just so many characteristics. But today I'm going to give you 7 to support you in really stepping up and stepping out and using your voice in a way that's actually going to make a massive impact in your business, with your relationships, and in the world. So stick around. If you're just tuning into my channel, welcome to this special episode of Coffee and Jesus. My name is Jen Johnson. I'm a high-performance Christian business coach. And on this channel, again, I teach people how to lead like Jesus, create content to use your voice, to spread your message, turning your purpose into profit, creating digital products, all that jazz. So if you have not yet done so, I urge you and invite you to subscribe so you and I can hang out here every week and dive into the nitty-gritty. So the first characteristic trait I want to share with you is to be teachable. It's imperative that you're open and that you're willing to learn and that you don't get too caught up in what you already know to think you don't need to learn anything else, especially when it comes to the topics we're facing hardcore dead on right now with racism and stereotype. What can you do to educate yourself, to be teachable, to be open to better understanding? And again, how you show up in your relationships is going to be the same way you show up in your business. So are you willing to learn? Are you willing to humble yourself, to get educated, to sharpen your axe, to sharpen your skill sets so that you can go out there in life and in business and truly make a difference, because every single day you're committed to learning and getting better and better. Proverbs 23:12 says, "Commit yourself to instruction. Listen carefully to words of knowledge." Proverbs 12:15 says, "The way of a fool is right in his own eyes, but a wise man listens to advice." Look, again, whether you're a believer or not, these words are words of truth and wisdom. And I want to encourage you to meditate on the scriptures day in and day out so you can learn to have this just become a part of who you are, your natural way of being. The second thing I want to encourage you to step into is being adaptable, being okay with change. Things are always evolving. We've come a long way from slavery, but we're not done yet. We've come a long way from using the rotary phones and the pay phones, and now we have all this amazing technology right at our fingertips to create anything we want to create, to learn anything that we want to learn. So everything is always changing, and you want to be able to flow and be adaptable with the changes and be up to speed, be current, be relevant. As a leader, you want to be able to fluctuate and be able to step into any challenge and take it on rather than shrink back, rather than hide out of fear. We want to be able to move through the curves and the nooks and crannies of what entrepreneurship looks like, because as we know, it's not a straight road. It's crisscross, all up and down, sideways, you name it. And so when we come up against curveballs and when life throws lemons, we gotta be able to adapt and innovate and be able to create anew so that we are constantly moving forward and creating better ways to operate in our world and better ways of showing up as a leader. Romans 12:2 says, "Do not be conformed to this world, but be transformed by the renewal of your mind, that by testing you may discern what is the will of God, what is good and acceptable and perfect." We get to not think the way the world thinks. The way that we're going to learn to think like Jesus, to think like God, is to step into the Word and start meditating on that truth instead of allowing the same old dialogue repeat in the mind over and over and over again, telling you a false story, telling you a lie, telling you to operate off of your feelings. What holds true? What does the Word say about how we should be showing up for our spouses, our siblings, our parents, our clients, our customers? Every single area, whatever we do in one area is exactly how we will operate in another area. And if you've never stepped into leadership in that way, you got to realize, if you're a procrastinator at doing laundry, you probably procrastinate at doing things in your business. And if you're, constantly pressed for time and feel like you don't have enough of it when it comes to spending time with your kids, you probably don't have enough time when it comes to taking care of yourself or taking care of things in your business. It all flows because it's how you're showing up. So we have to learn to be adaptable. We have to learn to adjust, to pivot, to innovate, to recreate, to evolve. So we are all constantly moving forward to create a better way and learn the truth about how we should be behaving by studying the Word. The third thing to remember is you are capable. Philippians 4:13 says, I can do all things through Christ who strengthens me, who gives me strength. That doesn't mean you're a superhero and you can fly off a building and God's gonna allow that to happen because gravity still exists. And it doesn't mean that you should be doing all things everywhere in your life and trying 20 different businesses and trying to please everybody. Let me tell you what that really means. In the Bible it says, in His grace, God has given us different gifts for doing certain things well. So if God has given you the ability to prophesy, speak out with as much faith as God has given you. If your gift is to serve others, serve them well. If you're a teacher, teach well. If your gift is to encourage others, be encouraging. If it is giving, give generously. If God has given you leadership ability, take the responsibility seriously. And if you have a gift for showing kindness to others, do it gladly. What is this really saying? It's saying whatever you're called to do, whatever God has willed you to do, has given you the skills and the talents to do, you should be doing that in excellence 100%. No ifs, ands, or buts about it. So yes, understand you're capable. You're capable of change. You're capable of being teachable. You're capable of being adaptable. And you're capable to go out there and do the thing that God has willed you to do, that He has skilled you to do, that He has put in your heart as a desire to do. It becomes conflict and like a real struggle when we're trying to do something that really isn't in our wheelhouse, that God hasn't really given us the spiritual gift to do. So when you get in line with God's will, know that there's still going to be trial. There's still going to be obstacles. There's still going to be lemons that life throws at you. But that's when you can go to Philippians 4:13 and realize I can do all things God has willed for me to do when He is the one who's given me the strength to do it. Next, you get to be accountable to yourself, accountable to others, and one day accountable to God. Romans 14:12 says, so then each of us will give an account of ourselves to God. Look, I know we lived in a flawed and broken world. Our justice system is broken. Law enforcement is not perfect. No way, shape, or form do we get to excuse the things that aren't working. And, as a parent, we create rules. As teachers, there's rules. As judicial system, there's rules. They're never perfect, but they are a framework. And when we study the laws of the Word, we can really start to make the proper changes to what's not working and how we can truly step up and create an accountability system that works for everyone. Next, I tell you this, be approachable. It is 2020. We are a world that gets to be approachable, accepting, loving, and caring, no matter the age, the sex, the race, It's 2020. We know right from wrong. We know how to really go out there and create relationship by being kind. I mean, we learned this in kindergarten. Be kind, don't hit, don't steal, don't cheat. Like, these are basic life rules that we learned when we were little bitty kids. And we get to go out there and be approachable. When you're at a store, smile your face off. Make someone feel good. Compliment someone. Go the extra mile that nobody's on to cause and create love and unity and kindness in this world. It's going to rub off not only when you're at the store, it's going to rub off when you're on social media. It's going to rub off when you're, working on, bringing on new clients or bringing in new customers. So it's a way of being that you get to be approachable no matter the color of skin, no matter the age, no matter the sex, because we get to create equality. And if we're gonna create equality, we can't pigeonhole. We can't be separating. We have to learn to be approachable and be a support system for other people, because I know you know this, there is so many people hurting in this world. And when you could be a shoulder to cry on or a smile that can rub off on somebody else, that is what the little changes you get to have to create the unity that this world is really desperate for right now. Read this verse. You are the light of the world, like a city on a hilltop that cannot be hidden. No one lights a lamp and then puts it under a basket. Instead, a lamp is placed on a stand where it gives light to everyone in the house. In the same way, let your good deeds shine out for all to see, so that everyone will praise your heavenly Father. It doesn't say for one race to see, one sex to see. It says for all to see. So everyone will praise your heavenly Father. Everyone will see Christ through you. Leadership doesn't sort. Leadership isn't biased. Leadership doesn't stereotype. And here's what else it's gonna take. It's gonna take you being okay with seriously getting uncomfortable, living in a space of discomfort. It's gonna take uncomfortable conversations. It's gonna take you taking a stand that could be awkward, that you could be judged for, that people could ridicule you for, that people could have opinion about you for, that people may not like you for. But guess what? That's what it means to take a stand. That's what it means to create unity. When you can stand for the thing that you believe in, it's going to be uncomfortable. Most people don't want to get up on YouTube and start preaching from the Bible. But this is my calling. This is what I stand for. This is what I believe in. This is why. What's going on in the world is exactly why I do what I do. Why I'm constantly breathing life from the word, because it's not my words. It's truth. It's truth that goes back to the beginning of time. So when we can learn to steep ourselves in discomfort and always creating a new level of discomfort, it's going to continue to level you up as a leader. Take a look at Joshua 1:9. Have I not commanded you to be strong and courageous? Do not be frightened and do not be dismayed, for the Lord your God is with you wherever you go. This is what it's saying. We talk about this as entrepreneurs all the time. Be bold, be courageous, take action, do it scared. It comes from the word. 2 Timothy 1:7 says, for God gave us a spirit, not of fear, but of power and love and self-control. Yeah, that's what we all preach on a day-to-day basis. When it comes to mindset, when it comes to encouragement, when it comes to inspiration, it comes from the word. It comes from being love, because God is love. That's where love comes from. So we get to step into the power that God has given us, the strength that God has given us. He gets to work through us as vessels. We are vessels. We get to create a powerful, loving, self-controlled way of showing up that will be a ripple effect for those who are around us. We want to be contagious, but not with violence, not with ignorance, not with being selfish, not with lack of wisdom. We want to be contagious with love and generosity and kindness and power and being courageous and bold. And lastly, I'll tell you, as a leader, you get to be relatable. I'll tell you what, Jesus did not only hang out with the holy. He did not only spend time with those who were worthy. He hung out with the prostitutes. He hung out with the thieves. He spent time with the tax collectors. And look, I know you are the company you keep. You get to choose who you surround yourself with, but you also get to choose how you're going to treat other people, even if they're not in your camp, even if they're not in your circle. How are you going to be relatable? So someone could feel like they could approach you. So someone could feel safe. So someone could feel that you're a leader they could turn to for something in need, for help, for direction. Jesus would perform miracle after miracle after miracle, but he was humble, and he would bend down and wash feet. He would allow the needy and the broken to touch his cloak and be healed. He knew their names. He accepted them for who they were, and he met them where they were at. Hebrews 12:14 says, "Make every effort to live in peace with everyone and to be holy. Without holiness, no one will see the Lord." Mark 12:31, the second commandment is love your neighbor as yourself. There is no greater commandment than these. Philippians 2:3, do nothing out of selfish ambition or vain conceit. Rather, in humility, value others above yourself. Romans 2:11, for God does not show favoritism. If he's not showing it, we don't show it either. Last verse, do we not all have one Father? Did not one God create us? Why do we profane the covenant of our ancestors by being unfaithful to one another? Today, as a leader, I encourage you to open up your Bible, to start reading the greatest personal development book on the planet, to start spending time in this word daily, to learn the ways of leadership, to learn the way Jesus walked this planet, and set the tone for how we get to continue the legacy. I have a quiet time guide that I would love to support you with to get you started on your quiet time journey. You can download it in the description below. It will give you verses to lean on to get started, and it will give you a process of what your quiet time can look like and what you should focus on during your time in the Word. I know this is a heavy video today. I really appreciate you being here, but as leaders, it takes, transformation is tough stuff. Transformation is heavy stuff. But man, we need it more than ever right now. We live in a broken world, and it's crumbling by the second with everything going on between COVID and all of this, racism and the protesting and all the things going on right now. We get to step it up. We get to move past this, and we cannot go out there and show the world what we're all about when we're too busy being nasty to each other and being in conflict with one another. So let's step it up. Thank you for being here on this episode of Coffee and Jesus. As always, keep the faith, impact the world. God bless, and I'll see you soon.